In November 1993, Louis picked 6 boys for the band. Within 24 hours of forming, Stephen and the boys were thrust into the limelight.
I got this phone call on the Friday morning from Bridget Ruan, who I knew from the Late Late Show, and she said, "We'd love to put your boys on the show tonight." And I just said, yes, they'll be there. What time? Blah, blah, blah. Not thinking they'd no rehearsal, they'd no song, they'd no dance, and they'd never been to a TV studio before.
Shane Lynch, Raheny,
Richard Rock, at Mines,
Stephen Gayton, 7th place.
The Late Late Show was an act of desperation by Louis. There was no choreographer, there was no song, there was no real group. They hadn't really been formed. It was just Louis, desperate to let people know that he was alive and well and he was putting together a boy band.
They've no talent whatsoever. They don't sing, they don't write music, and they don't play instruments, and they're probably very successful.
We've got one great talent though.
Yeah.
We're all Irish and we're off from Dublin.
There you go.
I remember watching Boyzone the first time on the Late Late Show, and I was going, "Oh my God, Louis, have you any idea what you're doing?"
And that was what burst onto the screen that night. All of this energy of these Dublin regular boys who wanted to be in a boy band, who were just auditioning again for the fun of it. And Louis was there going, just get out there and do whatever. Just make a name for yourselves.
We look forward to hearing from you when you're famous. When you do get famous, lads, will you spare us a date for the Late Late Show, please?
And I think this was the start of the whole kind of Celtic Tiger thing, the whole new era in Ireland. And I think Boyzone were part of it.
Now down to 5 members, Stephen, Ronan, Keith, Mikey and Shane. The boys immediately recorded their first single and shot their first video. Their raw edges had to be softened.
Stephen was a natural dancer and incredibly athletic, and he was fascinated by Michael Jackson, so he was doing all the Jackson moves. But the funniest thing for me was trying to get Stephen to control his mouth when he was lip syncing, because he had obviously spent so much time singing into his hairbrush at home that he had gotten himself into all these really bad habits of overdoing everything and making his mouth much bigger than it needed to be, and his tongue was always waving around. You know, he didn't sing love, he sang love. It was always much bigger, and the gestures were bigger. He jumped higher, and he was constantly in hysterics and had everybody in hysterics.
Don't love me for fun, girl. Let me be the one, girl. Love me for a reason. Let the reason be love.
To the surprise of many, the band became a hit. The boys were catapulted centre stage, the one place Stephen had always wanted to be.
Boyzone were just out there as representatives of the new Ireland. You know what? We're not all little farmers. We're not all little red-haired, freckled people. We're not leprechauns. We're actually kind of cool, laid-back, trendy, good-looking young fellas. And I think that was the message they brought out there.
Surprised you're not sleeping, Michael. Every 5 minutes you go to sleep. Life on the road was miles from Dublin's North Wall. Together, the members of Boyzone formed a tight bond. The boys affectionately named Stephen Homeboy.
Stephen, he struggled a little bit at the very start. Straight away, after they got their big record deal, they were away. First of all, they did Ireland, but then they went off to the UK and they were touring abroad quite a lot. He suffered from terrible homesickness. It took him a long time to get to grips with that and being away from his family.
That's my room. That's my room right there.
Boyzone became Stephen's new family, and he had 4 older brothers.
I always get my own room. I'm the spoiled child.
Everybody did want to protect Stephen in the early days because he was like a little child. Even when he was 33, he was like a little child. You wanted to kind of look after him and kind of mother him or father him. He had that thing about him. He was special in that sense, and he always stood out as being a special person.
He didn't have as much confidence as people would have seen on stage. Whatever kind of an image he thought people had of pop stardom, he felt he didn't measure up to that.
Who's your favourite?
Stephen. All of the girls saw vulnerability in Stephen that they wanted to mother him, and that made Stephen really approachable. Keith and Shane and Mikey were kind of older and cool, and the little girly girls, they chased Ronan and Stephen, and they really chased Stephen because they all just wanted to cuddle him and hug him. And he had the friendliest face and the nicest sort of way about him and the softest voice. So he was just taking up where Donny Osmond left off. He was taking up where Michael Jackson left off.
Of all the people I've worked with ever, I think Stephen gave the most to the fans. He was never tired. He would always go and meet them. He would always sign the autographs, no matter how tired he was.
Of all the tears that I've had to waste, and now I'm missing you so, and I won't let you go away.
Despite the dizzying heights the band reached, Stephen never felt free to openly be himself. As a teenager, Stephen realised he was gay. He kept it a closely guarded secret.
He felt that if word got out, that his career would be over. He had done so much to get into Boyzone. He had done so much to make something better for himself in life than he would have thought his career path was. And if the public were going to reject him because he was gay and he was going to be the little gay boy from Sheriff Street, then that was just going to turn it all sour. And so he had to try and keep it all sweet. And it was hard. It was a real